You think you've got people problems? Try starting a band sometime. Hello, folks, and welcome once again to the video call-in show. This is my second attempt at doing this show tonight, and I know it's a late one. I'll get into that in just a second. But yeah, for some reason, YouTube went stupid, and I couldn't see that I was live. I couldn't see who was watching. There was no elapsed time. Oh, technology, man. It's the bomb. So anyway, here we are back again. And anyway, the video call-in show. This is the only show that allows you to come, that invites anyone on at any time that wants to talk about anything. You've got a website or a channel you'd like to promote, some social media. You want to just shoot the shit. Jump on in, man. It's real easy. All you got to do is visit zoom.us/j/meeting ID. And you'll notice that I also have a link in the description box for ease of use. It's real simple. All you've got to do is visit that link, allow the download, and then wait for me to bring you in, man. It's just that easy. Just that easy. We've had some really good guests over the last couple of days. Sunday, I ended up talking about 3 hours to a guy that still hasn't emailed me. Dude, email me. We talked about a lot of wonderful things about live streaming itself and show formats and whatnot. And I'm even more of a Twitch moron. I don't do anything on Twitch. My perception was always that it was a gaming platform. So, TTF train. So anyway, so I didn't know what he was talking about when we were talking about Twitch, and I'd love to have him email me, and he didn't give me his real name, so all I had was his handle. So, dude, email me. I want to know more about that Twitch now that it seems to have been a little bit more open. There you go. There's your instructions. Visit zoom.us/j/meeting. The meeting ID is right below my ugly mug, and it'll get you right in. You'll probably have to download software if you don't already have it downloaded. But come on in and talk about anything you want to talk about. This is an open format show. The idea is I want to give people the opportunity to get exposure that they wouldn't normally get, or discuss issues that are important to them or important to me. But what I try to do every show is I try to talk a little bit about my life, and hopefully there are some pearls of wisdom in there that you can use in your everyday lives. Tonight, the reason I'm so late, and it wasn't just because of the YouTube hiccup, I'm in a band, and if you've seen the thumbnail, you'll know it's just like herding cats. Oh man, I'm actually in a couple different bands at the moment. Both of them are reformations of bands that I've been in before, but they're trying to put something back together, which is fine because, man, I love to play music. I definitely love to play music. I'm a latecomer to the game. I actually had a kit back when I was in high school and loved it, just absolutely loved it. It was a wonderful, one of the big Bonham style 5-piece, but it was still Bonham style, the classic rocker style Ludwig sets, shiny black. Came with all the hardware and a full complement of Zildjian cymbals. I think I paid about $500 for that thing back in the day, and just had a blast with it. I remember that I had it set up in the living room of all places. My future in-laws' living room. This was post high school actually, and I used to play along with videos because that was much easier than playing to the radio, because you could actually see they would show the drummer every once in a while, and I would zero in on that and try to learn some parts there. But I sold that thing. Actually, it was partial trade, partial sale. I got a really nice Onkyo receiver and some speakers. the Onkyo, my son still has. He's near 30 now, and he's he's been using that Onkyo ever since he dug it out of the attic. I don't throw anything away. I'll be the first to tell you. I just don't do it. I really got to be tired of something or believe that I will have zero use for it before I'll even think about getting rid of it. And usually that's a sale. But sometimes we donate quite a bit. But that's enough of that. Anyway, so after I got rid of that drum kit, I so missed it that I actually became a world champion dashboard drummer. Yeah, like that's a thing. Oh man, some of the steering wheels that I've tore up over the years, listening to loud music in my vehicle, you can't imagine. You just can't imagine. But man, it was fun. But it wasn't like drumming. It wasn't like beating on the skins. So my boy started getting interested in music. What did he want the first? I don't even know if he'd ever heard that that I'd played drums before. But what instrument did he want? You guessed it, drums. So, so we went out and since we all know how loud drums is, uh, for sure my in-laws know. we, I thought, well, let's just go ahead and get a nice electronic kit. That way he can see if he likes it. It's not very expensive. I think the Yamaha kit that we bought was. I still have the brain right back over here. The Yamaha kit that we bought him. It was one of the DT Extreme threes or something like that. Or no, just DT Extreme. Was nice five piece, and he had a lot of fun with it. And oh, excuse me, jeez. And it was nice and quiet, which made everybody happy. And he used that for just a little bit while before he decided he wanted a full size kit as well, full size acoustic kit. So he ended up buying a nice Ludwig kit. It was a special edition where they'd only sold them for a short time. It wasn't one of the cheapo CS. Well, it wasn't one of those. Not the CS. Anyway, I'm getting into drum history. At any rate, he bought one of those. It was really nice, burnt umber, and played that for a while. And then he got into guitar, but that's all another story. Anyway, rambling on like those old dudes do. Anyway, so when I got that electronic kit for him, of course I had to play it. I had to play it about 1,000 or more times, and just fell in love with using the sticks again. So I ended up contacting some of those same guys that I was playing with back after high school. They had been playing this entire time, and we're talking 25 years or more. Not me. I was only beating on faux leather, but they'd been playing for a while. And but they were between bands, so it's like, well, let's put something together. So we did, and we had a great time with it. We played out live for probably 4 or 5 years. This was probably, well, actually, I remember our first gig was 2009, at the end of 2009. Side note, the bar we played at closed the very next day, and no one there knew that was going to happen. It was actually I think a shower for my lead guitarist's daughter. Closed down the very next day. Now it's like a tire joint. They sell used tires out of it. Yeah, it was a dive. But God, that was really fun. And then, of course, for the next 5, 6 years, we played out. And I've mentioned that band before. I don't want people going out and looking for those stupid videos out there. But that was, yeah, the end of 2009, and we played till about 2015, something like that. And then our bass player wanted to leave, so we dropped it for now. And it wasn't until, well, that, and I started playing with an Irish rock band, a Celtic rock band, and man, I got to tell you, there is that was the most fun I've ever had. Not only did we have a fiddle player, violin player, but we also had an accordion player who was our bass player. The bass player and I, from the first band I was just talking about, got together on this, so we were still playing together. But his father played the keyboards and the accordion, and that was a lot of fun. I mean, you get to really play some cool music. The more instruments that you have at your disposal, and so we did that for a while. And the best part about that was it was Irish rock. The worst part about that was it was Irish rock. The reason we actually decided to do it at all was because the lead singer, who is now my bass player's brother-in-law, no relation, his family owns one of the oldest bars in Indy, and he it's his family is it's a total Mick whatever. I'm not going to mention it, but anyway, we would play that show, which they pop a huge tent and a bar at the far end, big stage. They bring in a huge sound system, and we headlined 3 years in a row. The first year we didn't get to go because my bass player and his father, their brother or son, died the day before we were supposed to go on. It's like, no, we can't do that. That was just the first year. But the next 3 years, the following 3 years, we headlined the show, and there's nothing like, I don't care what music you're playing, there is nothing like having 5 to 1,000 people all jumping up and down, digging what you're doing. I am telling you, that is a high that most people will never be able to experience. And these are all songs that none of us grew up with. Now our lead singer did, obviously. He's full blood Irishman, and great guy. We had a lot of fun. We're talking about getting it back together this year, as a matter of fact. But man, that was just the best, and that's why we're thinking about getting back together. Because God, there's just nothing like that. Nothing like that. Well, sex maybe, but you get what I'm saying. This lasts almost all day. Yeah, I'll let you figure that out. So anyway, if you're just joining the video, know that when we are live, like for you guys, we are live right now. It's real easy to join. You can join just audio only if you'd like. Just hit that link right in the description box. It looks just like this one up here, and that'll get you started. You may have to download it if you don't already have Zoom installed. You may have to download it. Somebody chat of my viewers. Would you chat? I'm looking at an old chat here, and I think there's something wrong with YouTube. I would appreciate that. So anyway, yeah, you click on the link in the description box, or just enter this link in that you see at in the lower third, and go through the download, and then I'll see you pop up on my screen here, so that I'll be able to take you in. We'll look at each other and talk and whatnot, and if it's just audio only, that's cool too, because you can start without video. You can actually turn your cameras off and not have to worry about that. My Sunday guest, he was all audio, and that's just fine with me. I don't mind. I know it's a video call-in show, but if last night's guest, he came in with total video. That was awesome. But you don't have to. You don't have to. If you just want to talk like it's a radio talk show, not a problem. Let's talk about instruments you might have played. Let's talk about bands you might have been in. At any rate, here we are at about 13 minutes in. It is 11:46 Eastern Standard Time in Indianapolis. But anyway, the story that I was trying to finish there was that we're trying to get these bands back together. The bass player that I've been playing with in other bands doesn't want to get together with that first band for various reasons. But so now they're trying to get a bass player. Well, I got to tell you, we've been trying for a new bass player for probably 6 to 9 months, and we've gone through just about that many bass players. They either don't know the material, don't want to play the material, don't show up. Yeah, it's ridiculous. We were there tonight for hours, and the guy never showed. He kept saying that he was going to show up, and he never showed up. We're going to give him just one more chance. He was talking about, well, he told us last week that he broke his ribs. I don't know how true that is, but tonight he said he had a lot of work to do and couldn't break away right away. So we're just, I'm like, well, he seems interested. He's an old friend of my rhythm guitarist. We'll give him another chance. Why not? You're live. Is that Champworks Garage? Did you just type that live? If so, comment again if you would, or chat again. I want to make sure that this thing's scrolling right. It's been kind of flaky tonight. I started one, and I have yet to go back to see if it's screwed up or not. But I wasn't seeing anything. No elapsed time, no nothing. So yeah, it's one of those YouTube nights. YouTube nights. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good name. I coined. What was it? I don't remember. Anyway, so not only that, but the other band, the Irish band, we're trying to put back together now. Now we're having. It's almost like contract negotiations, even though it's just an amateur band. Although we do get money, of course. So it's kind of like a contract negotiation between the members to try to get them in. And I tell you, it's just like herding cats. It's just like herding cats. The worst part about it is you try to get together on new songs to add to the repertoire, and what you end up with is people that will go home, fall in love with a song, learn it, bring it to the rehearsal space, and then expect everybody to muddle along with it. Oh yeah. Oh, you did? Yeah, I know. It was really weird. It was really weird how that happened, Champworks Garage. I appreciate that, but it just I couldn't see anything, so I just stopped that feed and started another one. Hope I didn't throw anybody off. Hope I didn't throw Google off or YouTube. So yeah, and it's always like that's not how you come together on songs. I keep telling them, well, none of them are in the business world for various reasons, so they don't understand sitting down and trying to put a meeting together and find out what songs might be best to bring to the table. Because that's always been my idea. It's like, why aren't we sitting down with our own, songs that we'd like to bring to the table and see if everybody likes it? Use the democratic process, and then reject them or accept them outright based on, there's three criteria that I use for songs, if I can remember these correctly. One, everybody's got to be able or enjoy the song. Everybody in the band's got to enjoy the song, and that no particular order here. Two, we've got to have the instruments to play it, right? I mean, we're not going to do Frankenstein. Nobody's got a synthesizer in either of those bands. And three, it's got to be a crowd pleaser. It's got to be popular. Because we're a total cover band, and it'd be one thing if we're an eclectic band that plays off the beaten path, because as well as I do. Albums can hold hidden gems. They just weren't radio worthy, and they're just fantastic songs. I'm a Rush fan from way back, and most of their stuff never ever saw radio play, nor will it ever. So you can imagine that I'm quite well aware of those hidden gems in albums of all genres and all time periods. But anyway, the point is, that's how you should get together on that, and then you build your list of 40. You figure about 40 songs will get you through a 4-hour set with 2 or 3 breaks, and it just, unless I drive that, it never happens. It always happens the other way, where they just start playing something, and it just drives me batty. Just drives me batty. No one needs that kind of. No one needs that kind of headache, because you don't get anywhere, right? None of the other band members have practiced that song. Yeah, we might have heard it. Might have. It could be that it was a song that was so far off the beaten path, or so new, because a lot of us tend to get stuck in our playlists. It might be so new that we haven't yet heard it. and to expect us to just muddle through it. It's like, oh, it goes for 4 bars, and then you do a fill. It's like, the hell does that mean? What are you telling me when it's supposed to happen? What kind of fill? How many notes in that fill? And it's like, okay, I don't want to rant, but I do want to hear from you in the comments section if you don't come on live, your band experiences and how fun that or not fun some of that has been for you. It's always nice to hear about other people's experiences, which is the reason I started this show. I wanted to hear your experiences. I want to hear, what you've got to say, what's on your mind. He says as he does a non-compensated product placement. But yeah, I think the only way to make any band work, and what is it? Tell me, what is it in the comments section? What is it that tears up most bands? And this is beyond ego. We're not talking about people that have toured for 10 years and then suddenly the managers are pulling out certain members or singling out certain members saying you suck, or the other ones are like, hey, you should go solo. Nothing like that. I'm talking about just standard bands. You might be a cover band, you might be a local originals band, but what tends to break up bands? I can tell you a few things I know. And most of it is because you can't get anyone to agree on anything, and it's so much more pronounced, I've found in the musicians world, and I think I've been in, and for my short time, because here we're talking about 10 years experience playing out, which is not a lot of time in this arena. See what I did there? But I've played in probably half a dozen bands with several different people, and it always seems to be something. And the stranger part about it is, and kind of awkward, is think about having being in this position. Many of you probably already have. If you're musicians and you're watching this, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But imagine being in a band, the band breaks up, and one or two members ask you to go with them. That gets uncomfortable. It's like, oh great, okay, now the other band members are still, my friend, but now you're asking me to kind of stab them in the back. And that's a difficult thing to do. I think any musician who's been around for a while can gets that. I mean, because that happens all the time. And hell, I've had guys who've just jammed with say, "Hey, are you happy in that band?" And of course, there are some that would never ask me into a band because maybe I wasn't up to their stuff. I mean, I consider myself a total drum hack. I mean, I'm trained, self-taught. Let me put it that way. Totally self-taught. Know every one of my shortcomings. In fact, there for a while, it was brutal. I thought for sure, because I suffer from benign positional vertigo, which means that if I tilt my head in a certain way, I'll be super dizzy for just a few seconds. It doesn't normally last that long, thank God. But but I thought for sure that was affecting my timing, and of course that's the death knell to a drummer. You got to have good timing. But wow, that was a tough time for me. So I was actually in a band with a buddy of mine that I'd been in another band with, but he's got a whole another group of musicians, and they lost their drummer, so they asked me to join up, and I was playing with them, and everything was going okay, but it just didn't seem like I was on my game almost every gig. And I told him, I said, something's wrong. I just don't feel right. So I gotta go. I can't hold you guys back. I don't feel like I'm doing or holding up my end of the bargain. So I don't want to. I don't want to hurt you guys. So they found another one and kept me on as an alternate. But that and the drive was pretty extraordinary. It's 45 minutes there and 45 minutes back, and it's like that was kind of tough to do on a weeknight when I was actually working at an establishment, not from home. Which I do now, and I much prefer. But but yeah, that was that was really really difficult for me for a while, and then it didn't seem to be an issue. After I left that band, I was playing with some other guys, and didn't seem to be a problem at all. And I wonder sometimes I wonder because they would tell me to speed up and slow down during gigs, and I kept thinking, man, I just know I'm playing the same time we did when we were in the rehearsal room. I said, I just know it. Why? What am I missing here? And that's when I thought for sure it was a medical problem, but maybe, I don't know. I don't know. You never know, really know. But I actually went to see that band last Friday. That was fun. Did I do a show after that? I don't remember. Or no, Saturday. I'm sorry. I said Friday. It was Saturday, and I don't do Saturday shows all that often. But I decided to do that Sunday show. Or was it Sunday? Wow. See, that's one thing about working at home. You start losing track of your days. Oh man. So, um, yeah, I don't know where to go from there. I mean, bands are bands are bands. They can be a just a shitload of fun, and they can they can really make you not want to play music anymore. If you can imagine that, right? But but I guess not because we keep doing it. Go talk to musicians sometime. They're either going to tell you that they wish they were playing or they miss playing. I honestly believe that those are the only two options for musicians. Once you get it in your blood and you start seeing people react to what you're doing on stage, yeah, you're hooked, man. It's a drug. It really is, and a drug that I am happy to continue consuming. All right, so yeah, late night doesn't seem to be working, or the YouTube algorithm is still jacked, not making me happy. But here we are. Here we are. Um, like I said, I had some great guests last night. Young kid, he's trying to get his channel out there. Told him he probably needs to focus a little bit more because it's kind of all over the place. Plus, he didn't have in his channel art, he didn't have what um, uh, he didn't spell out the purpose of his channel, which I think is very important because when you go to a YouTube channel, you shouldn't make people hunt for what it is that you do. You should really try to focus and help people understand right away what it is your channel they should find on your channel. It's what I've tried to do with Video Call-In Show, in that when you go on there, it's like be on the show. I mean that kind of says it all. Uh, what are you going to do on the show? Chat, discuss, debate, or just shoot the breeze. And of course, everyone's welcome. I'm on live every weeknight. Um, schedule providing. But I've only missed one. I don't know if you heard that. And that was because I was dejected. I'm not feeling real good about the watch count right now, but we'll see how that goes. But if you think, go back and watch those two interviews. The one that was voice only. Now it's a long one. Trust me, it's really long, but very very informative. I mean, the guy has been doing his research. I think if memory serves, he's going to be launching a channel soon, and is looking for pre-promotional opportunities. So he's done a lot of research, and I was impressed with many of the suggestions that he even threw my way being a rather new tuber and what I would consider a noob. Now, I got the marketing down, but I've got to work more on promotion of this particular channel. Because for years it was always me behind the camera, and I thought, well, this is a bucket list item. Let's try it. Let's try it from in front of the camera. And lucky you, you get to see this mug every friggin' night. Oh man, you know it is all about having fun. So if and when you decide to call in, thanks again so much to TTF Train and my gosh, was it Saturday guest? Now I got to go back and look. Is that awful? It's like the older you get, the less able you're to place milestones of your life within a time frame or within a reasonable time frame. I remember the big ones, right? I remember when I got married. Remember when my son was born. Remember when my granddaughter was born. Oh, but beyond that, I really got to think hard. I really got to think hard about when in the grand scheme of the calendar things happened. Get ready for that, kids. Get ready for that because it's coming for you. That and the weight thing, which I've already talked about in my other videos, it is coming for you. Oh, man. So listen, I think it's probably a little too late tonight, so we're going to bid farewell, and I want to wish you all. What? My phone just talked to me for no good reason. I've never had it talk to me that way. Now I got to smack it around, bitch. Anyway, you all have a good evening, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can. You don't want to miss me rambling, do you? Of course not. See you live.